Welcome, one and all, back to the channel for something special. A preview from the upcoming expansion of Age of Empires 4 on a brand new map. Welcome to Ocean's Gateway for a 2v2 clash between Louis MT and Scarlet Devil teaming up against Baltoon and a guy called Duan Wu. I don't know who this is. I'm curious to find out. But what I am looking forward to is the new civs. We've got an interesting matchup here, actually. It's mirrored new civs, Macedon for Louis MT and Duan Wu, but then traditional civs for the other two players, with Baltoon being on Jean, and then Scarlet Devil playing as the Rus. Map is going to be Ocean's Gateway. I've left it at the top there for you guys. I don't know if that looks cluttered or not. Usually the idea is we hide this for free-for-alls. But I guess you guys might want to see the current resources. But yeah, double Macedonian is going to be intriguing, actually. I think this is like a nice way to approach seeing new civs in a mirror without it being like an obnoxious mirror. So you are going to get the Varangian War Camp to open up with. This makes a lot of sense. Remember, the Varangian War Camp, it is simply a way of getting a house at the start of the game. And then later on, it's going to be a way that you can get units for free for losing units. Oh, and we do have a Dark Age rush coming in here. Yeah, it's going to be a forward Varangian stronghold out of Louis as he looks to aggress onto Baltoon's gold. That's a smart idea here for two reasons. One, you know that the Jean faction is going to want a lot of gold to produce knights. And two, doing this, building spearmen early isn't a bad thing because there will eventually be knights. So, cool thing about Ocean's Gateway, you can fish on this map, but you may be noticing a bit of a funky shape. You can't access the shoreline unless you go towards these kind of central points between player locations. So a little bit of a different design, a little bit easier to reach onto pond play when you play in a standard 1v1 because there's 4 access points. My personal feedback to the devs, I think 1v1 should probably be only 2 access points, one here, and a player spawning here and spawning here. But you can see how it has pretty cool implications in 2v2s. There is a safe area which you can share for fishing, or there is the contested sites, which are a lot harder to get to. Okay, so it looks like we have got age up starting to come in, at least from a few players. Yeah, Duan Wu just going for an age up as well. Now, he has gone for the Grand Winery here. So that's going to give him access to 30% increased gathering rate on food in range. Later on, if he gets any relics back here, it's a way that he can generate silver so he can get those Viking upgrades. Okay, so Louis does get the burn on the mining camp. That's really good. Remember, Jean doesn't get a 50% discount on drop-off buildings, so it's just a loss of resources. Annoying to replace. Scarlet, what's he up to? His tech up has been really slow, actually. He went fishing. Yeah, we're getting Rus fishing. Shortline fish may have been buffed, but it's still not as good as deep water fish. And remember, a classic, we don't really see Rus these days on water because it's become a bit too aggressive, but in a more eco-focused game, they are pretty much unrivaled because they don't have to bring the food back. They just auto-drop off from wherever they are. Yeah, through a advanced network of birds, they've learned how to train the birds to not eat the fish, but instead take it back. Smart birds. Oh, okay, that's actually cool from Louis. Do you guys see what he's done here? He built his war camp on the coast. So this is a way for him to trade military on land into water. Because if you build a Varangian war camp on the coast, you can choose to produce boats out of this thing instead. Yeah, very unique thing. We haven't seen anyone use it so far because it's been all dry Arabia games. Louis, it's going to be Hippodrome build. I think Hippodrome is just better than the Grand Winery, to be honest with you. I don't really see as much point in the Grand Winery choice. I mean, it's good. It's a 30% increased gathering rate on food, so you just have to think of it a little bit like Aachen. But in terms of tempo, this is just unrivaled. The Imperial Hippodrome just gives you so much power to push. Louis, believe it or not, is going to be on the stone already. I guess he's going for Stronghold Defensive Arroslets, which basically gives you an outpost emplacement in each of your barracks. Shivs out. Now, keep in mind that Adgimafa, which is the spearman for the Macedonians, is going to do a better job holding back the shivs because they have additional health. Baltin, was he trying to go for pro scouts? No, he's just that gold starved. He's gonna be range on coming through. But remember, Lou's gonna have answers to that, guys. He already went Hippodrome, so he's gonna be able to get into Horseman easily here. Scarlet. What are we looking at? Double stables, so it's gonna be Knight spam. I should have expected these sweaty boys to be playing your atypical Knight on Knight spam. For those that are unfamiliar with these names, I mean, I imagine most of you know at least one of the 4 in this list. These are all team players. They love team games. Louis MT and Scarlet bathe in the team game environment, as does Baltin. And I imagine if I looked up Duan Wu's name, he's probably going to come in the top 100 for team games as well. Let's see if I'm right. Okay, so, yeah, he finished 3rd. 3rd in team ranked for Season 11. And it's not the first time that he's been in the top 3. So very good at the team environments. And we have got the Giga Chad Scout coming out, guys. This guy's ridiculous. 7 base damage, 220 HP. Other Scout, not as scary, so he's going to get sniped down. But the Bogmather, maybe that wasn't worth it for them? I don't know. It's a little bit awkward, actually. He's bringing Archer Knights into, what, Knight? And he assumes it's going to be Knight Spears. Louis, definitely giving value to the Jean play here. Yeah, so Duan Wu runs an Archer over. Jean plus him will be able to take them out. That's great XP gains already for Baltin in this game. And we do have Horsemen now coming in. The champion has also been spawned for Louis. Fortunately, wait, where is he? Oh no, sorry, he hasn't been spawned yet. I mistimed it. Because it was a slow tech up, I was expecting it sooner, so we'll have the champion in about 30 seconds. At which point, Jean's going to be in trouble. She might already be. Down to 115 HP. There's good pressure in here, though. Scarlet can't really come out. There's just too many knights. Archers now starting to reach in. Keep in mind, these archers are actually decent at assisting against knights because of the unwavering focus that gives them 2 penetration against ranged armor. Basically, 2/3 of your armor don't matter here. Unfortunately, they find themselves in a really bad position for that clash. Adgimafa have just been added in. The Scout is absorbing so many shots. Knight is going to peel off. Looking for the kill on Jean. Doesn't get it. No, come on. One tap. One tap. Brings her down. Still, this felt expensive. Knights are low. Scarlet Devil will look to peel them back. He has no way of healing them up. And the Hippodrome Horseman has to be feeling bad about this, man. If he'd been here earlier, the damage that he would have had to take down Jean would have been huge. So it looks like Baltin and Duan Wu, the strategy is working. And it makes sense. Like, they've actually played this perfectly. They've forced double cavalry out of Louis and Scarlet because they steered into one player's base, with Duan Wu being infantry focused. That's really smart, because he can't afford to go to Louis' base. And Louis doesn't want to be trying to push infantry across the map here. It's really slow. So he's been forced into full cavalry only. So you're double caving, which leaves you quite vulnerable to what Duan Wu is doing with the Adgimafa. Both sides, we do have a little bit of war here. Baltin, he did go into the archer ship. Unfortunately for him, it's not going to work out. That ship sinks him. No extra boat plane. Oh, come on. Oh, that wall. Oh, that's so unfortunate. At least it forces a wider rotation, but was Scarlet not aware of that? And he should have seen it. What do you guys think? Do you actually like 2v2s over 1v1s here? Like, I wasn't sure. I was a little bit hesitant because my thought is like, you know, it's a lot to soak in. I guess in some ways it worked out nicely because we've got only one new Civ showing on both sides. Ooh, raid coming through. Louis sneaks around the back. Now, the Horsemen are getting buff damage, as is the Scout here, because the Hippodrome Horseman gives +2 to all cavalry. So this is a good opportunity to snipe. Baltin, a bit of a pickle. The workers do get shivs out, but they just die a little bit too fast here. And what doesn't die quick enough is the Hippodrome champions. Look at how tanky they are. Oh my god, it's taking forever. This horseman is just not dying. He'll eventually get through him, but the cost is so high. Jean also likely to go down here. Ishi, ay caramba. I mean, you get some XP out of it, but you pay such a high price of entry there. So 30, I mean, he should be at what, 35 workers? So -5 from that raid. Duan Wu. Starting to heat up in the kitchen, though. We've got Kira siphons coming through. Duan Wu. So many spears packed inside. Villager does get sniped. Remember, Agimaffa are going to attack quicker from having all these Vikings nearby. And we do also now have Bogmaffa coming in, as well as him camping now with a runestone, which gives you great gap close with the spears. Yeah, now moving at 1.44, which means with a charge, they go close to a knight's movement speed. Tech up on the way. Louis, greedy boy, goes to the age up. Yeah, while his opponent is being aggroed, he's like, okay, we just need to tech up to get out. And it is going to be the Golden Horn Tower. But Louis, I'm disappointed. You're not using this the correct way, sir. This is a tower rush landmark. Yeah, guys, the Golden Horn Tower is a real tower. It's a giant outpost that you can garrison that has giant crossbow emplacements in it. So you want to drop this somewhere that you need to defend. The other cool thing, it does spawn crossbowmen for free every 1.9 minutes. So 1 minute and 52 seconds to be specific. You'll get free crossbowmen for free. Bouts in. Now trying to punish him with that age up. We don't have anyone else aging up in this game. It is just Louis, and I imagine he's going Radari with this. Radari would make a lot of sense. I think they're actually pretty good even against French Knights. And you can just poke while staying away is the other idea. Duan Wu. He has got great value out of this Kira Siphon so far. But they need a tech up on their team, really. Good intercept. Even toying with him with the horseman there. Villagers, I love that teamwork. Scarlet. He wasn't sure where he was going to get gold. Lou's like, come over here. Come, come, come. This area is safe, son. It looks like Louis is adding in additional Radari now. Yeah, slowly but surely. The question now is whether it's going to be quick enough. They'll get shut out before he can get online. Louis has been doing a really good job at raiding in this game. Might be able to club down another. Could have switched to the axe throw there, actually, for a freebie. Duan Wu. He has been getting some kills here, actually. Scarlet 55. Louis, by comparison, is at 46. Then again, Scarlet's been adding in fishing, so his numbers are deceptive. I don't know if these guys can actually get out of feudal. They need more value. And the longer it takes to find that value, the worse it gets because of the Louis factor. But Scarlet is definitely in pain right now. He's losing a lot of his base. But the real threat is now coming. The Ridari have arrived. With the crossbowmen as well, Baltoon is going to be sweating. After Maffa get cut down. The reason why Baltoon's going to be sweating is crossbow plus Ridari can answer his comp. Need a few more, admittedly, because 17 knights is a lot. And Louis, what's he at now? He's at 7 Ridari. So it really needs to be kind of within 0.8 on the count of these. So, like, for example, if there's 17 knights, he has to have about, like, 13, 14 Ridari. But they are pretty impressive brawlers. 28 damage on Sword Strike. And, by the way, they do attack quicker than standard knights in prolonged engagements. Knights will have the advantage on the charge, though. The lance into the Sword Strike, that's 2 attacks in 2 seconds. Whereas a Ridari attacks once every 1.4 seconds. Scarlet. Oh, he's looking for the big boy high trade house. Ocean's Gateway does have these fat tree lines in the center. Weird splodgenings of them, actually. Baltoon and Duan, they are staying the course here, but Baltoon is starting to save up. So he's looking for that tech out of the age. Farm count is looking good. Duanwu is getting a sustainable economy in. Baltoon is still playing pocket eco. He's not fishing, though. Which is a little bit worrisome, actually, long term. And it is going to be an all-in strat. Royal Institute now coming through. So the goal here isn't to play a long game for Baltoon Duan. They're looking for a kill shot in the next 5 minutes. And they have made some new landmark models, actually. So, for example, the Sengoku Daimyo has a few new landmarks. But others are just reusing existing landmarks. For example, the Macedonians. Okay, so new Kira Siphon. Duan's like, hey, these are pretty good. I think I can end the game with this. 2025, are we really defending full reuse of assets and paid DLCs? Not defending, but understanding the financial budgetary constraints. I mean, you can vote for with your wallet if you want, but like, these are new civs. They do feel different. Like, are you kidding me? Yes, they have the same landmarks. Look at these units, though, and look at how they function. They're very different. Same, especially with things like the Radari. So I don't know, like, it's okay to voice your criticisms that you want more original stuff. Absolutely. But acting like we didn't get any value out of this DLC is silly. That's my not so hot take. Or maybe it is hot in some people's minds. But like, for me, there's enough new content here. Like, there's clearly been a lot of thought that has gone into this. Would it have been nice to have had OG assets? Sure, but like, here's the problem. When you set a high expectation of quality, it is very hard to then keep maintaining that level of quality. Think about the amount of unique voice lines and models that exist per civ compared to other games in the Age of Empires franchise. It's crazy. Now, some of the things that a lot of you guys love, like all the unique voice lines per age for civs, I want you to think about just how much time goes into recording those compared to the voice lines in AoE 2, or even, like, you know, I think it's like comparative to a civ in StarCraft, and then StarCraft only has 3 civs. Okay, so tech ups have been coming in. Baltoon, he's got raw bloodlines. They're still keeping that push going, but I like the way Louis is playing this. He cuts the reinforcing wave. Crossbow sniping down one by one. The Radari are holding firm here. He's doing this without the runestones as well. Louis able to club down the second wave of Baltoon's army, and now able to start diving the economy. Panic mode sets in as Duan has to send the Spearman army back to defend instead of pushing for the kill. Yeah, what you're seeing right now is Louis MT, one player, defeating 2. Because Scarlet is just stuck defending for them both. Man, are they thriving off this. Baltoon down to, what, 49 economy? For comparison, Duanwu is at 60. Burn here is huge, by the way. I love that. He's still got the increased burn damage. He's trying to get rid of the consecrated buildings to remove the discount that Jean gets. Spear wave arrives. Okay, you know what this game calls for? Springolds. Springolds is your best friend now. If you get 3 or 4 Springolds up, you are so safe. Scarlet now, the second TC in the game, is just going more in the direction of the double Chinese team now. High Trade House also generating decent gold. What? How am I doing on monasteries? Looks like Louis has been eating them up. Yeah, he's got 3 relics already. It doesn't look like there's been much of a relic F on the other side. Duanwu did also go for the Golden Horn Tower. And reminder, the crossbow shots from this tower, they do not give bonus against heavy. They're just very high base damage. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, I think Kurt kind of hit that well. The amount of people who said they weren't going to buy the DLC, and then when you think about how many people bought the last DLC, there's always been this thing where people, like, act outraged. But if you truly are feeling that way, then do vote with your wallet. Like, that's your prerogative. But if you're just going to act outraged just to fold at the first, like, moment, like, Could I just be the guy to say, like, at that point, you might as well just keep your mouth shut because it didn't work? Because, like, now what you've done, like, you know, literally, like, I'll give you an example with my child of how this works. If Freya does something naughty, and I say, Freya, if you do that again, you're going on the step, you have to sit on the step, and she does it again, I now have to put her on the step. If I don't put her on the step, we have a bigger problem. A much bigger problem, because now she's called my bluff. So if you truly believe that this DLC is not worth it, and you say you're not going to buy it, and then you fold and buy it, at that point, next time when you say you're not going to buy it, no one's going to believe you. Even if you then don't buy it. Like, you've already set the belief that, like, it's a fake out, it's a bluff. It's like the guy who plays poker and keeps all-inning. You're like, well, he doesn't have aces every time. This is stupid. Big dive coming in, by the way. Could he get the kill on the main base? I think so. Scarlet's army is quite a bit smaller, no? 54 military. Meanwhile, Duanwu sitting up 101! It's the Dalmatians! The Viking Dalmatians! Tries to dive him here. Adgamafa getting in the way, though, and the archers is melting through him. Oh my god, this game! We thought it was trending to a Chinese victory, but not the case at all. No, 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 no. Baltin now looking to dive the back farms. Ridari are going to react. But with the buffed health, I mean, the knights should do fairly well here. The problem is the crossbow's coming from behind Baltun. Just discount himself in the engagement, but Duanwu is going to be the knight in shining armor. Gandalf riding over the hill at the 11th hour. Castle drop's going to come in, so Scarlet Devil tries to hold them here. Knight dive on the backside. Baltun just looking for that big crit hit. Scarlet down to 62 economy, falling shorter. And Baltun, long way to go for level 4 Jean. Quick wall coming in. It's gonna be decent, but not quick enough. Slivers out the remaining knights. It's all on Duanwu to carry this big fight now. The wall, Scarlet, the wall actually might be grouping you now. And yeah, so the whole idea of like reusing assets, etc. Like my final like stance on it really is, it would be great to see civs built from the ground up every time a new civ built from the ground up. But it seems the take is that that's not financially viable, and I'm not really surprised at that, because like it or lump it, RTSs are a niche. Microsoft could punt millions of dollars on this or millions of dollars on making another battle royale. And they could be wrong 5 times in a row, but if they're right once on that battle royale, it'll make more money than all the failures and the RTS investment combined. That's just the nature of game development. I'm sorry, it's true. So, like, when we're being realistic about what we're going to get budgetarily invested, you know, we always talk about how much we love the quality of the graphics and the quality of the sound design and the quality of the immersion of the experience. But that means, like, there's a higher level of budget required to build these assets to get them right. So that's kind of the trade-off. In an ideal world, carte blanche is given. Here's $2 million. Here's $5 million. Go make a big expansion. But sadly, that doesn't seem to be the way Microsoft is investing. The hopes is we grow to a point where that becomes the way they invest. But when you consider how much was invested in AoE4's launch and how far it fell, I can't say I'm surprised, especially in this day and age with the way that people invest more wisely around IT and gaming investments, to see Microsoft not wanting to blow the house on an AoE4 expansion. All right, burn coming in. Have they? Wait, they've done it again. They've... Duanwu, man, I feel so bad for this guy. He's the only person not playing cavalry. Team game meta is still cavalry, is what we're learning here, because he's always so late to arrive to these critical fights. Talking about voice lines, AO2 has less than 3,000 total across all civs. AO4 has over 280,000. Boom. If those numbers are correct, that rests the case perfectly. That's a crazy number. That is actually a crazy number. Okay, 180,000 sounds more realistic, but like that's still a crazy difference. 3,000 compared to 180,000. Oh my god, I found the reason why Louis is winning. That's right, guys. Macedonians do get the Dromans as well. Now, Byzantines aren't alone in sucking on water. Oh, wait. I think he just... This is more important. Nah, big clash coming in. Can't miss this one. Ageofempires. Divine Restoration. It rejuvenates their health as well. We've got the Runestones down. But we've got Horse Archer crossbow backline to worry about. The Bogmaffer. They're taking way too long to get through this. This is breakpoint. They cut them in two, worked Baltoon down to nothing, and then came in to finish off the one Macedonian standing between them and imminent defeat. Louis MT and Scarlet able to play that dynamic perfectly, showing you why cavalry is so advantageous in team games. That ability to move around the map, critical here. Cool to see new maps coming in and Ocean Gateway being a little bit different in its design. But I do still get that instinct that a lot of maps that we're seeing in Age of Empires 4 for 2v2s, 3v3s, and 4v4s are still going to be a bit too good for cavalry. I hope the devs really take a look at this and reconfigure the way they design maps. For example, if you had both players starting in the corner next to each other, like here and here, then there's some defensive strategies around infantry that makes a lot more sense. But when you spread out players like this, cavalry is always going to remain king. And there is a new king on the podium. Do not sleep on the Elite Radari. Even the Cataphracts now coming through. Even Jean de Blast is no match for these Vikings. No, unless she's going to become the bearded maiden, she cannot handle these beards. It's the only way you can beat a beard, guys. Beards beat beards. It's the simple economics of the universe. Pretty cool game, though. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about our thoughts in between when we're talking about the different financial choices. Of course, I'm there with you. I get it. It would be cool to have an entire civ built from the ground up. You know, everything in the Macedonian Empire having been Viking themed and having them living in Viking huts and whatever. But in a realistic world, when we come down from that dream heavenly place where budget isn't a constraint and we can have whatever we want for dinner, like we can have ice cream for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We realize, like we would in real life, we've done that in real life, that's going to lead to diabetes. We have to temper ourselves. And the reality is, I think if you look at this DLC for what it is cost-wise and what you're getting 4 civs, at least 3 of which feel very unique and the whole entire different self, and a new game mode that, by the way, has a lot of replayability. Take it from someone who's already sunk several hours into it. I think we got good bang for buck here. Let me know what you guys think, though. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the team content. A little bit rare. We don't often do this. And I'll catch you all in the next chapter.